It is Monday morning, conference room 9 a.m. So you have entered the room and your VP says something about this LLM, RAG, transformer based SLM we need to build. So everybody is nodding around you except you. You have no idea what just happened. Even I was in that room several times. So I felt very small among all my peers who has already know all these concepts. So there is a specific term called imposter syndrome. So we are all familiar, especially in the IT industry, so because of the rapid technology changes, so you don't know what happens after you wake up tomorrow. If any of these words are perplexing you, so you don't need to worry. And this series is going to fix exactly that. So this is having 12 episode series. Today we are starting with the episode 1. So I am promising you there are no equations and there are no more complex mathematics, just clear explanations, real world examples. After completing this series, after these 12 episodes, you can sit in that room with confidence and you can contribute more. You can understand every term, you can contribute finally. These are just 12 episodes. We are starting right today. Whenever I see any evaluation, I always remember my childhood. Now, we all come from our mother's womb and immediately we don't go to marathon and run, right? We crawl, we started walking and faltering, and finally we run and our mothers cannot catch us. In the same way, this evolution also started. So initially it started with the prediction, then based on this foundation, it grown leaps and bounds. There are five technologies and one story is connecting from prediction to action. So it started with data science. We are all familiar with the data science, the structured spreadsheets, Excels, SQL data, rows and columns. This is all structured data. It finds the hidden patterns in the data, then it uncovers something useful, and based on that it can predict what happens next. It only reads numbers. It cannot see. That is resolved by the computer vision. It can see tumor scans. It can see traffic cameras. It can see her photos. So it is same as data science but different input. So it reads pixels from the images and videos. Then what is the natural progression? It is reading the text. The NLP, natural language processing. It reads the text, sentences, complex paragraphs, Amazon reviews, and spam filters. This is your NLP. After that, what happened? Nobody could imagine. In 2017, there is a paper titled Attention is All You Need. So that is Transformers Architecture Generative AI. So far, it is only reading the numbers, reading the pixels, and reading the text. Now, in the generative AI, we're all familiar the chat GPT. It started creating, it started writing, it is summarizing. That is our generative AI. Finally, we are in the world of agentic AI. It started acting. How it happened? Gen AI cannot act alone, but Gen AI plus some tools, APIs, memory, and orchestration. And don't worry, we are going to cover everything in the future episodes. That is agentic AI. Before going further deep into those, let me ask you, you ran a business and you spend some marketing things in some different channels like Instagram, YouTube. But how do you know that which channel is contributing more? That is your data science that will answer this question. But before going further, let us see what all the episodes we are covering, the 12 episodes. This is the complete series in a nutshell. 12 episodes. Left side are the foundations, right side are the application. We are here on the episode 1. Today we are going to cover the Gen AI evaluation. We go deep inside the neural networks, how machines learn. Then we go deep inside the natural language processing, the various steps in that. The Transformers 2017 paper, Attention is All You Need. Further, the same engineer with different prompts will give the completely different output. So we all should know the prompt engineering. There are some frameworks that we are going to cover. Then context is the king. So without context, so your LLM is dummy output. So it is not useful. So we should learn context and how to apply. On the right side, the context we are taking to the next level, we all may be hearing that hallucination. So the specific hallucination thing will be overcome by using the RAG, that is your company data, that is retrieval augmented generation in RAG evaluation. So whether RAG is producing correct output or not, then it all goes well if you are following in a ethical manner the boundaries. If you set properly, that is your AI governance. Already EU has done some extensive work. We are going to cover on that as well. Last two are very interesting parts. I love data science. In my friendly neighborhood, there is a Kirana store. It's a grocery store. I am purchasing from many years. I have observed quite often, whenever I go, he always makes it ready what I'm going to purchase. He noticed some pattern in my previous purchases. So this is what data science does. You throw some numbers at it, it finds some hidden patterns that human eye can miss. The real world example here, we can see the ad channel spending. You run a business, you spend ad spends you do on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and TV ads. But how do you know that which channel is contributing more? And how my sales are growing? To answer that, you give some 6 months to 1 year ad spend data and sales data. Then it finds some patterns. Magically it shows Instagram is contributing 42% of sales, Facebook at 18%, YouTube at 26%. What it is showing is Instagram, if you increase, then your sales will be more in the future weeks. It is identifying some patterns, but it is the human that you have to act. It works on the structured data, rows, columns, spreadsheet, database. It recognizes some patterns in historical data, as we just now covered, forecast future outcomes. It can predict. But the human role is still there. It only decide and act on the insight. Machines does not act for you. Here the key limitation. It only works on the numbers. What about images? And what about text? For example, a radiologist is going through the tumor scan. She is unable to upload this into a spreadsheet and it never works. That exact problem will be solved in the future. How the human learns. The kid starts learning the A by seeing different fonts, different sizes of letter A. Then after seeing multiple times, the brain starts recognizing. The same way computer vision teaches the computer with thousands of images with labeled data. This way, next time it starts seeing, it can recognize what it sees. The best example here is tumor. The radiologist is observing a scan. She has to identify that it's a malignant or benign. But after seeing for continuous 12-hour scans at the midnight, there are chances of error are there available. To avoid that, she started feeding thousands of scans to the computer with labeled data. First one is malignant, second one is benign. Like that, thousands of label data it has gone. Then it finds the texture, it finds some visual pattern inside these images. Next time when you throw the new scan, it identifies that it is benign and the confidence is 94% confident. Now the radiologist having the second opinion is always better, right? The second best example is you have gone to the vacation, you uploaded photo into the Google Photos of your daughter. Immediately within seconds compiles all the photos of your daughter and it can easily tell in spite of the environment is different, in spite of the angle is different, lighting is different, it recognizes it is your daughter. It is not storing her face, but how is it able to do? It is the geometry. It is recognizing based on thousands or millions of the photos already uploaded, trained. It recognizes based on the eye distance, nose, geometry. But there is a key limitation here also. The computer vision reads images but cannot understand language or generate text. So that is what we need NLP. But before answering that, let me ask you one simple question. How many words you read every day through emails, WhatsApp, news articles, customer reviews, whatnot? This is all unstructured data. So neither data science nor computer vision can resolve this problem. Let us see how the NLP can resolve and finally solve the unstructured data problem. I am always fascinated by seeing the review section of Flipkart or Amazon. How could they classify the thousands of user reviews? The iPhone 17 camera is 95% positive, the battery performance is 60% positive. How could they do that? It is because of natural language processing. Here, the computer is trained on millions of words or text with the label data. This is positive, this is negative. Then it finds pattern. Based on that, any new review comes, it can confidently identifies that this is positive, this is negative. But what is inside the natural language processing pipeline? First, it is text pre-processing. It converts everything into the lower case and remove punctuation and split into tokens. What are tokens? These are the basic building blocks. For example, iPhone 17 is extraordinary. iPhone 17 extraordinary. These are the tokens. But what happens next with these tokens? It converts into the vector form, that is numerical representation, because computers don't understand text which we easily understand, even the 5-year-old can understand. So we convert everything into numerical representation. The powerfulness of the vectors is the words with similar meaning are having the similar numbers. Example, the word amazing, the word extraordinary. In the real world, they are similar nature. Same way, the numbers are also are closely related in the vector form. Then we train the model with thousands of labeled reviews, that is positive, negative, So based on that, in the vector space, these are grouped together. Finally, in the inference stage, new review has come. Example, iPhone 17 is extraordinary. Then it goes to the same pipeline. iPhone 17 extraordinary. This converts to the tokens after pre-processing. Then numerical representation will be formed for these numbers will be assigned. Then based on the existing pattern, if these numbers are representing in the positive pattern, then it says that positive, or otherwise if it is in the negative pattern side, then it says the negative. In this case, it says positive, the 94% confidence. This is our natural language processing. But there is a key limitation. It can classify text. But what if I ask the question, ChatGPT a prompt, give me the pitch for the next 6 months sales revenue, how can I improve this? If I give the same thing, if I give to the NLP, it can classify, but it cannot generate the text. That is what we are going to cover in the Gen AI section. You have just arrived from your 1 week vacation. On Monday, you opened your inbox. There are 500 mails lined up for your attention. You are on first mail, but there is a 489th mail that is super important and needs your immediate attention. You never know until you reach 489th mail, right? How do you solve this problem? The problem can be solved with the right set of tools by integrating with ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini. You have given this content and immediately it flags that 489 mail is immediate attention requires. There is a 11:30 urgent meeting with the CEO. So that is generative AI. The intricacies of generative AI will cover deeply in the upcoming episodes. But here, this is an overview. The big leap happened in 2017 with the paper from Google researchers. The beautiful paper, the attention is all you need. That is a transformer based architecture. Don't worry, we're going to cover the previous three technologies. Like data science, it can predict; the computer vision, it can classify; natural language processing, it can understand. But all can understand input, but Gen AI can create. Write a sales pitch for my new product, it can magically generate. Here, it can write content. So many offices are using this for producing the content. It can be the articles, blog posts, even sales pitch and emails also. It can summarize a long form of documents. There are some 200 pages, 500 pages document. You need to have summarization immediately for your next meeting. It can easily summarize the key points. Then the coders can adopt very easily. Earlier you had some issue, you go to the senior developer or Stack Overflow. Now you can ask ChatGPT or Claude, immediately it gives the solution. So the productivity of the coders have improved dramatically and the code production and the quality of the code production also immensely improved. Finally, the translations. This is super useful when you are encountering the new language or new set of people. Immediately you can do the translation. Here, Gen AI can do all these things. But there are limitations of Gen AI. It can create, but it cannot act on its own. It cannot check your Google Calendar. It cannot book a movie ticket for you. It cannot send a mail on your behalf. What is the solution? Agentic AI. Imagine you have given a prompt to ChatGPT, book a movie based on my calendar free time on Friday. What it does? It is perplexed. It doesn't know anything what to do. Then what is the solution? That is agentic AI. So it connects to all the APIs necessary and it has a goal, it plans on its own and it takes and decides, completes the action. Currently, we are in the world of agentic AI. If you see in the Cloud Code, ChatGPT's Codex, so this is all agentic AI actions they're able to complete independently on their own. So the user has given a prompt that book a movie ticket on Friday based on my free time in Google Calendar. So what it does? First, LLM understands what user is asking. Then based on that, it plans some steps. Then it connects to the right tools. It may be Google Calendar, it may be Book My Show for movie tickets. Then it maintains all the in the memory, that is a state management. Finally, it does the orchestration, that is sequence of steps. Let us see how it happens. I'm really curious to see this. First, it checks the calendar availability using the calendar API. Then it finds some time slot, that is 6 to 10 p.m. time slot. Then what happens? Then it fetches the show timings. That is the orchestration part, the sequence of steps it is doing. Nearby cinemas, there are three time slots are available near to me: 6:30 p.m., 7 p.m., and 8:45 p.m. But if 6:30 p.m. show is books, for example, my free time slot starts at 6, but the convenience time is 45 minutes. There is no bandwidth at all. Okay, then match free time slot. Here, the beauty of the reasoning is happening. So, best fit is 7 p.m. show because there is a 30 minutes travel buffer. Then, finally, all the checks are fulfilled. Then it confirms the booking. Bingo. How beautiful it is. So, from where to where we have come. So, the ticket is booked. One sentence. Simply, I have given book a ticket Friday based on my free time in Google Calendar. Then it has taken 4 actions on its own. It knows what is the goal. It plans everything. Zero clicks. Gen AI alone cannot do. It is because of the API, memory, and the orchestration, the beautiful magical thing happened. After completing this series, the again same Monday morning has come, the same conference, the same time, and VP asked the question. Now everybody has nodded, including you, because now you know what is transformers, what is LLM, SLM, RAG. So everything you know exactly why, what is happening. You are no longer on the outside. You have the right set of tools. You put that 1% effort every week by watching these videos. Enjoyed like how curious I am. If you are also curious and some value you it this episode is added to you, please subscribe and like. Thank you. Peace.